Welcome to Football with Cheese. So in this video, we're going to start the AFC East offseason recaps with the New York Jets. If you have not subscribed, please do so now and enable alerts so you never miss a video. So the Jets went 5-12. It was a complete and total disappointment. Expectations were high. Basically in the 2023 season, they got Aaron Rodgers in a trade with Green Bay, and he tore his Achilles on the fourth play. What the Jets were thinking is, we have a great defense. If we just get a quarterback, we're going to be a contender. They ended up 7-10 in 2023 because Zach Wilson was the quarterback, and he's terrible. Just terrible quarterback. But the defense was terrific. One of the best defenses in the NFL, so they were able to win 7 games, even though the offense was terrible. But Rodgers comes back in 2024, so expectations were high again. We're going to be a contender. We just need the quarterback. Look how good our defense was. If the offense improves, we're going to be a contender. However, a lot of things went wrong. First off, if you've ever torn your Achilles, I haven't. But most players in the NFL, probably in any sport, the next year after you tear your Achilles, it's really tough to play at the same level. Usually it's the year after when you're back to normal. And Rodgers didn't get off to a great start. They did start 2-1, so it looked okay. Then they lost 5 straight. In the middle of that, they traded for Davante Adams because they felt like they needed another weapon. He had played with Rodgers in Green Bay. They had incredible chemistry. So the offense did get better after they got Adams, especially as the year went on. But the defense fell off. The biggest thing no one talks about, or hardly ever talks about, with the Jets is the defense went from dominant to probably just average. If the defense had played like it did in 2023, yeah, they're going to win a lot more than 5 games. And Rodgers, yeah, he took a lot of the blame. There's some games he didn't play that great. Like I said, down the stretch, he did play well. His stats look pretty good, but he became the fall guy. Robert Saleh, their head coach, got fired in the middle of the year, so you couldn't blame him at the end of the year. So Aaron Rodgers took all the blame. It's all Aaron Rodgers' fault. Whatever. It was a disaster. Mike Greenberg, who works for ESPN, who's a big-time Jets fan, called it like the biggest disaster ever. I never thought the Jets were a true contender, to be honest. I still had the Bills as the best team in the East. But they expected to compete for the playoffs and lost 2 more games than the year before. And the stretch in the middle of the season was just awful. I mentioned they lost 5 straight. After starting 2-1, they actually lost 9 out of 10 games in the middle of the year. A lot of those games were close. They just could not get over the hump in the fourth quarter. And like I mentioned, the defense just wasn't nearly as good. So they decided to move on from Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. Cap-wise, they pretty much had to. Rodgers is now on the Steelers. Davante Adams signed with the Rams. The Jets need a quarterback, so they went and got Justin Fields from the Steelers. 2 years, $40 million. Why not? Fields was a first-round pick of the Bears. He wasn't bad. He wasn't good. He was okay. He has his strengths and he has his weaknesses. He's very athletic. He can scramble. He's not a big turnover guy. Doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. The biggest problem with Fields is reading a defense or throwing on time. I watched him play a lot as a Bear. There were games where he just threw the ball too late and it went incomplete. That's his biggest weakness. What the Jets are hoping is he can get better at that. Maybe they can find another Baker Mayfield. Probably not. But Fields can do some things that Aaron Rodgers can't. Obviously, Rodgers can do things that Justin Fields can't. But I like this signing. They weren't going to draft a quarterback. The only quarterback they probably would have taken was Cam Ward. He went first. They picked 7th. So why not? 2 years, $40 million is not going to kill your cap. If he plays well, like really well, then you just extend him. If not, you draft a quarterback next year, which should be a pretty good class. They signed Josh Myers, center from Green Bay, 1 year, $3.5 million. I guess they didn't watch the film of him, or you would never sign him, especially the Vikings and Lions games late in the year. Josh Myers in that Lions game is the worst game I've ever seen a center play. He's just a terrible, terrible player. They have Joe Tippmann to be the starting center. More than likely, Myers is the backup or doesn't make the team. Probably doesn't make the team because he's just such a terrible player. They also lost DJ Reed, who's been a consistently good number 2 corner for them for years. That loss may hurt, but I get not paying him. He's 28, he's going to be 29, and the Jets are doing a mini rebuild. So it didn't make sense to really throw money at him. In the draft, I really liked what they did. Armand Membu's 7th overall. He's going to play right tackle. I think I had him 6th on my board. He is a really athletic player with high upside. He played really well in the SEC this past year. Breakout year for him. He was better in the SEC this year than Will Campbell, who was drafted 4th overall by the Patriots. Now, Campbell played left tackle. Membu played right tackle. Easier position to play. But I just want to mention that I had Membu higher on my board. Most people didn't. But I love that pick. He's such a perfect fit for the Jets scheme. In the second round, they went Mason Taylor, tight end from LSU. I liked this pick. It's a huge need. He's got high character. He's athletic. He's willing to block. I just had Elijah Arroyo higher. He's better at route running and after the catch than Taylor. But Arroyo's had some injury concerns that Taylor hasn't. So this pick makes a lot of sense. He's the son of Jason Taylor, who played most of his career for the Dolphins, but did play for the Jets late in his career. And the pick I really love was Azariah Thomas. Hope I said that right. In the 3rd round, he went 73rd overall. I thought for sure he'd go in the 2nd round. He needs a little work on some technique stuff, but I think he has upside of a good man corner. And it's really hard to find those. You know Aaron Glenn, their new head coach, more on him in a second, loves to play man. So I absolutely love that pick. So all 3 of those guys are future starters. Membu and Taylor probably right away. Undrafted free agent Donovan Edwards, running back, Michigan. He is super athletic, but his production was not there at Michigan. For whatever reason, his vision is poor. He doesn't really have the quickness to hit the hole like a lot of running backs, but he should because he's a really good athlete. Maybe the Jets can get something out of him. I don't know why he wasn't more productive than he was. Important players, we mentioned Justin Fields. They're hoping they get the most out of him. I want to mention Breece Hall. He's their starting running back. He was a 2nd-round pick in the 2022 draft, a really good draft for the Jets. I thought that was an absolute steal. I thought he'd be a top 10, maybe even top 5 back in the NFL. I love watching his film at Iowa State, and he had a great year in 2023. Last year, he just did not. Not sure why. A lot of Jets just had down years this past year. They're hoping he bounces back. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, he's an absolute stud. Elijah Vera Tucker, the right guard, underrated player. It's weird to say underrated player, even though it was a 1st-round pick. But he's had some injuries in the past, but he was healthy last year and had a very good season. One of the few Jets to have a very good season. So on defense, Quinnen Williams, the defensive tackle, and Sauce Gardner, a cornerback, were both top 5 picks. And they both were outstanding in 2022 and 2023. Not good, like elite NFL players. And both had down years. One of the many reasons, why the defense wasn't as good. I don't know why. Something just wasn't right with this Jets team this past year. And then Jermaine Johnson, another player, he got hurt. I think he only played 2 games. He's their edge rusher. Another guy they need back healthy. He played really well in 2023. If all 3 of those guys play even close to they did in 2023, this defense is going to be much better. Breakout player, Olu Fashanu, was their 1st-round pick in the 2024 draft. He was a left tackle from Penn State. I really was high on him going in the draft. He is a terrific pass blocker. He's a really good athlete. Didn't have the best rookie year. He was banged up a lot, and he was playing guard, then he was playing right tackle. He just moved around a lot. Now he's just playing left tackle. He can focus on it. If he has a breakout year, and Membu is who we think he is, that offensive line could be really good in years to come because their interior offensive line's already pretty good. We mentioned Joe Tippmann, the center. Elijah Vera Tucker, I mentioned him. John Simpson, left guard, had a good year. So that offensive line has a chance to be pretty special. The most questionable thing about the team is probably the secondary. I don't love the safeties. And the cornerbacks, besides Sauce Gardner, it's just not good. So if the defense struggles, it's probably because of the secondary. So their outlook. I don't see how they could be worse than 5-12 On paper, they don't look much better. But like we mentioned, a lot of their players had down years. They can't possibly be as bad as they were last year. And you also have the Aaron Glenn effect. Aaron Glenn is their new head coach. If you did not know who he was the defensive coordinator of the Lions for the last few years. And he was outstanding. The Lions had a ton of injuries on defense. There were guys playing that I'd never heard of. And they still had games where they were playing good defense. When I'm analyzing how good a coordinator is, either on offense or defense, it's not just about play calling. That's where a lot of people get it wrong. Oh, he's a great play caller. He'll be a great head coach. It's more about the game plan. That's what the coordinators do. They're in charge of the game plan for the week. They watch film of the other team and come up with a game plan. Even if a head coach calls the plays on offense or defense, the coordinator is still in charge of the game plan. And Aaron Glenn had some unbelievable game plans this year, especially week 18 against the Vikings. That was the battle for the number 1 seed. Maybe the main reason he got a head coaching job. I think it was a great hire, and he's worth at least 2 more wins, in my opinion. If Justin Fields plays well and the secondary isn't a weakness, they're going to win at least 7 games and maybe more. I think they could be better than people think. The Dolphins, to me, look like they're not going to be as good. Patriots look like they're improved, but they're still not a great team. Obviously, the Bills are the class of the division, but Jets might surprise a few people. What do you think down below? Do you think the Jets are still around 5-win team? Do you agree with me? You think they're more 7 to 9 wins? If you have not subscribed, please do so now. Enable alerts so you never miss a video. If you enjoyed this, please give a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel. Share this with anyone who loves football as we continue to grow football with cheese. Check these out if you have not. And look out for my off-season recap of the Miami Dolphins. That'll be out tomorrow.